I want you to do me a favor and stop using this word, or at least use it a bit less. This word is 그리고, and it means and it's a perfectly natural way to say and. But it's often misused, especially by beginners, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. Now, 그리고 means and or and then, and it's only used when you're starting a sentence. So you're not going to connect nouns like saying cheese and bread with this, but you could say, and then I bought cheese and bread. This lesson's starting off great already. I can feel it. So you can start a sentence with 그리고, and it means that you're just adding extra information to whatever it is that you've previously said or someone else said. For example, you might introduce yourself and you say your name and your age, and then you say something like this. 그리고 and 저는 미국 사람이에요. And I am an American. And I should clarify that this sort of usage is perfectly normal and natural, and this isn't what I'm telling you to stop using. And in fact, I think a better way to translate 그리고 instead of just and is maybe and then or in addition. So saying 그리고 저는 미국 사람이에요 is kind of like saying in addition, also, and I'm an American. But then think of that definition. In addition, how often do we really start sentences by saying in addition? Probably not every single sentence though, and if you reuse 그리고 over and over again, it'll very quickly start to sound repetitive. But most of the time, or at least a lot of the time, when you want to add more information to something that you've said, you don't even need to use this word. Now, before we go further, I should just clarify again, 그리고 is fine to use if you want to say something like, okay, so that's some information that I just gave you, but wait, here's a little bit more. So anytime you want to express that sort of feeling, go ahead, use 그리고. But for other situations, there is a more natural way that you can do this. So let me just clear this off. And the way that you can do that is with a particle. 도, you've seen this before, I'm pretty sure. It's a regular particle that just means also, or even, or to. For example, if you were to just say 저도, me too, or me also, or even me. Now, if you've learned this particle before, which I think you have, you might already be thinking, Billy, are you saying I should start a sentence by saying 도 instead of 그리고? No. What I'm saying is incorporate 도 into what you're already saying instead of using 그리고. Now, this won't work in every sort of sentence, but you'd be surprised in how many it does work. And once you've learned this trick, once you realize what's going on, you're going to start noticing native Korean speakers using this all the time. Okay, so let's do a quick example. You're in your room, you're trying to study, and your roommate is listening to some obnoxious music, really loud, and you can't focus. But you're trying to study for your important Korean test. So what can you tell your roommate? Well, you could say a number of things. You could say, 음악 좀 바꿔주시겠어요? Would you change the music? 집중이 안 돼요. I can't concentrate. And now you want to add on to that because your friend's still not getting it. So you want to add on, and it's too loud. The volume's too loud. Well, you could just say 그리고 and 소리가 커요. 소리가 크다, literally the sound is big, is how you say it's loud, as in high volume. So 소리가 작다 would be the opposite, saying something is quiet. So and the volume is loud. So and it's loud. Now again, this is kind of like saying, in addition to what I already told you, I can't focus, and it's loud. And this is okay, but there's a more common and natural way that you can also express this. So we can remove this part here, and we can change this subject marker to 도, and we get this sentence. 소리도 커요. Literally, sound also is big. Now let's take a step back. You've learned this particle before. You know that this is used to mean also, as in addition to other things, this one as well. For example, if you say 저도 김치 좋아해요. I like kimchi. Well, you're saying I also, in addition to other people who like kimchi, I also like kimchi. But here, 소리도. So in addition to other things, the volume is also loud. As in, other things are also loud, but the volume is also loud. That sounds a bit strange if you think of it literally, but this is actually how you can express the same feeling of adding more information to what you're saying. This is a little bit of a different usage of the 도 particle than you may be used to. So the literal meaning you get is the sound also is loud, as in addition to other things, the sound is also loud, but the feeling that you get is, and it's loud, just like what you want. So adding this particle gives you the same feeling of and, like you're adding additional information, but it's much shorter, and this way sounds more natural than simply using 그리고 to make a longer sentence. But I'm not done. Let me give you another example. Okay, for our second example, you might go into a restaurant with a friend and you order and you sit down and your food comes out in front of you, and the first thing that you say is, 오, 냄새 좋은데. It smells really good. Stick your fork in it. 그리고 맛이 좋아. In addition, it tastes good. But there's a more natural and more common way that native speakers will tend to express this sort of feeling of and. We can get rid of this. We can change this to our particle 도. 오, 맛도 좋아. And it tastes good. I just want to clarify that 그리고 is perfectly fine to use as long as it's not overused. So here's where it's good. Anytime you want to add extra information to something that you've pretty much completed talking about. So you're saying, oh, in addition to all those things that I've just said, one more thing. And there's another place where you would want to use 그리고, and that's whenever you're trying to say and then, as in, and then something else happened. For that, it's fine to use 그리고 because you cannot replace and then with 도. And overall, when you use the word 그리고, what you're saying is not just in addition to whatever I was saying, here's one more thing. The feeling you're giving is, wait, I still have something else to tell you. Listen to me. So if you want that feeling still, you can even add it in addition to 도, like 그리고 소리도 커요, for our example, or 그리고 맛도 좋아. Oh, hey, and listen to me, I'm not done. It's also good. But for any other situation, when you just want to say and something else I was already talking about, here's one more little thing, then just try to use the particle 도. It'll sound more natural. So where have you noticed this part? It's not written on the board anymore. Where have you noticed the particle 도 being used to mean and before? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again in another video. 그럼 다음에 또 봐.